Today on Let's Talk Jonesboro, we have Noelle Richardson, and she is a volunteer coordinator with Out of the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
Noelle, we visited with you in the past, but tell us a little bit about Out of the Dark. Tell us what it is, and tell us what we need to know right now.
Well, Out of the Dark has been around since 2012, volunteer-based, and we are just working for prevention education on substance abuse and misuse. Right now we actually have a federal grant working with all the school districts in the county, which we're going into year 6. You can have up to 10 years, so that's been just a true blessing for the school districts for free prevention education materials for not only students and teachers, but also parents. Right now, the biggest thing that we're doing, actually this week, there will be an advisory council forum free to the public at the Embassy Suites. And then we will also have a drug take-back event next month. So we want to get those medicines out of your cabinets, and we want to get them into a safe disposal box away from your children.
And you're talking about particularly expired medicines, right?
Yes, yes.
I have a few of those. If I've got some that expired in 2017, should I not take those?
No, I wouldn't take those. I would put those in a Ziploc bag and go drop them at your local drop box, and the closest one here would actually be at JPD.
Okay, that's what I will do.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, pre-COVID life, you guys had, I don't know, 5th graders or something that literally took over downtown Jonesboro. It was a mess. So it was a really big event, and you've had to kind of alter your plan, I guess, over the last couple of years.
Yes, we've actually tweaked it. So we used to have the downtown rally. Streets were filled. Hal and Scarlett would come, cheerleaders from ASU. We'd always have somebody come speak. We'd have skits. But now we are doing presentations and things in each school. So more students are actually getting to participate. But it's just a different take. The school actually gets to pick what they want to talk about or what they want to do, what's best for their school.
What type of things do you see that Out of the Dark does that has the most impact? I mean, you've been doing this for how long?
So with this organization, I guess I've been with them 5-6 years.
Yeah. So you have a feel for everything that goes on there now. What are the things that you're most proud of that you see are most successful?
Actually, one of the things, and they've been doing this, 20 plus years with other organizations, is the poster contest for 4th graders. So all the schools, all the 4th grade schools, students can color a poster, and then our board, we actually vote on one poster per school district, and they're blown up onto billboards with their name, their school, and just watching the students come in with their families getting their little trophy with their mini billboard from Lamar Advertising. I don't know, that speaks volumes to me, because they're just so excited, and they're like, this is why I'm drug free, or like, this is what, I love that. And also our youth coalition. So we have a prevention squad, and their youth leaders, they're going out all over the country talking about drug prevention and, why they're so passionate about it. And they all have some kind of personal story. I think that's what it's all about, future leaders.
Yes, it is. And I had little nephews and nieces who learned from your program and have talked about it, so they don't have the excuse of not being told. That doesn't mean that you don't fall into things that you don't like. And I may be presuming here, but your name, Out of the Dark, I'm assuming that means it helps people who feel like they are trapped alone in an addiction, and it's okay to come out of the dark. Am I misunderstanding it?
Come out of the dark. And that was actually what our youth said. We created a PSA, I guess back in 2019, and that was like how they ended it. And they said, we're coming into the light. And it's just, with the right education, family support, we just all have to be there for each other.
Right.
Drug addiction is in every family.
I'm sure it is.
So it's learning, and also teaching at a younger age. We do programs for pre-K, and that might be a coloring book, or as I call it, healthy choices bingo, like just talking about making healthy choices not just with drugs, but wear your helmet when you're riding a bike or eat your fruits and veggies. It's just starting small and just growing as they get, as they get older. I think it just really resonates with them.
That's really cool. So do you have a headquarters? How many people do you have volunteering with Out of the Dark?
We actually have an office down on Matthews, which we are hardly there because we're out doing things. We actually have a board of directors. We have me. I'm a part-time staff, part-time volunteer. And volunteer-wise, like coalition-wise, we probably have about 45 members in the community.
That's great. That's great. Have you seen it grow over the years?
It fluctuates.
Mm-hmm.
It really, now obviously with COVID, we've had to go via Zoom for like meetings and things like that.
Right.
So we've kind of struggled on that point, but we're still at all these drive-through events and things like that. All of our information is still out there. And we've also been able to do a lot more via social media. Our website was completely redone. We have a virtual teen room. We used to take that to like the expo and things like that. Now you can view it online. So it's kind of neat what we've been able to do.
Where can you view it online?
Outofthedark.org.
.org.
Mm-hmm.
Outofthedark.org. What effect have you seen COVID have on drug addiction? Have you had enough time to come to some conclusions?
So we sent out a survey to some of our youth. Based on responses from them, and they do cover various school districts, it has affected them. A lot more have started vaping. And they just said that they felt alone and they needed something. So I think in the next, year or two, when the data comes out, I think that's what it's going to show.
Yeah.
So, our youth are they want to tell us what's going on so that we can make a difference. Like, that's the one thing about our youth squad. They don't keep anything from us.
They
which
tell
is
you
good.
what they see and how they feel. That's great.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you foster that type? Because every parent wants their child to talk to them, and every child doesn't want their parent to know. Not everyone, but it's common that they don't want mom and dad to know what's really going on in their world sometimes. So how do you make that connection?
I think it's just honestly being real with them. I know with the youth, obviously I've worked with youth for years, but just telling them, hey, I've been there. I've had friends, things like that. I had peer pressure when I was your age. Like, what's going on with you though? Like,
mm-hmm.
what's it like today? Some of the stories they tell us, I'm like, really?
Is that right?
But yeah, they just open up because we're just real with them.
Are we not the same? Or is being a kid different than your generation?
Yes.
Is different than me, but
100% different.
Really?
And most of it revolves around social media, I feel like. I grew up, obviously, with a cell phone and things, but the apps that they're showing us or things that they're learning online, it blows my mind. We took some youth, actually not even 2 years ago, we took some youth to Texas. The things that they were telling me on the drive there, and then when we got there, they were showing me all this, I was like, okay. Like, they had to give me like a little 101 session on what was really going on, and it's kind of scary.
Do we think this is what our parents and grandparents said about us?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's great. That's great. Well, she's Noelle Richardson. She is a real estate agent by trade and a volunteer with Out of the Dark by passion. And
yes, and the Alzheimer's Association.
Alzheimer's Association.
We have our big walk coming up.
We do have the walk coming up. Tell us about that.
Okay, so the Jonesboro Walk to End Alzheimer's will be on October the 2nd at ASU this year. So we're really excited to have it back on campus.
Okay. How long of a walk will it be?
It's usually less than a mile.
Okay.
Since we do have some caregivers that are going to be bringing people, it's just a short walk. It's usually a loop so that you can actually walk by the Promise Garden, which is one of the most important aspects to the walk.
Where can people find out about it?
alz.org/walk. And it'll actually pull up all the Arkansas walks and Jonesboro's at the end.
Okay.
So,
alz.org/walk.
yes. And we have, this year there's going to be an app as well. So if you don't feel comfortable coming to the walk because of everything going on, you can actually do everything online. You'll be able to like log in and you can walk. It'll track your steps.
Oh.
You can go through a virtual promise garden yourself, and you can say that you're there, and you can wear your t-shirts and post your pictures. So I'm excited about that because I know a couple members of my church, they don't feel comfortable going to the walk, but they're gonna log in, and so they'll be walking their neighborhood. So hopefully that whole day there'll just be purple all over Jonesboro.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Noelle. Thank you for taking time to visit with us on Let's Talk Jonesboro.
Yes, thank you.